You can believe what happened over here, man. Yeah. Real warm out there in the middle of the house. Somebody had you and cops came out here. Told me I was just taking out the garbage. Where you been?
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. 'Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. Mine. You better believe it, 'cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Don't push me on the edge, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. 'Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving you a chance, boy. I'm giving you a chance, you see boy. The devil in a glance, boy. The devil in a glance, I can knock you out your pants, boy. Knock you out your pants, boy. I told you not to fuck with mine. I told you not to fuck with Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Ultimate Dirt TV. We are back here at Kansas for 134 laps with the Bluegrass Series Cup cars. Tonight's stage break, looking at lap number 55 for these guys out here coming into tonight. Our points in the top 5 are GT Hawkins leading the way, followed by Curtis Preston, Brandon Holder, and Jonathan Swartz currently tied for that third spot. And rounding out the top 5 is going to be Alex Huffman. Qualifying is already underway, right about halfway through qualifying right now. Keith Hackney once again back at the top of the charts here in qualifying, followed by Dustin Reinsettle, Curtis Preston, Jonathan Atkins, and John Kinder. Your top 5 as it stands right now. Out on track right now, you got Wyatt Brackett. He's going to time in 10th quick on his second lap. RS Setters coming out on track for his laps right now. And actually, RS Setters is going to come to a stop with no time put in. 19 cars have got a time in so far here tonight, with right about 4/100ths of a second separating the top 5. So very, very close times. Brian Terry from the Syndicate out on track right now on his number 13 DeWalt machine. Let's see what kind of a time he can put down as he goes around right now on his out lap. Also joining him on track, let's flip that number from 13 to 31. Blake Hensley coming out on track as well. A driver from Cornerstone, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm going to go double check this. Yes, Cornerstone Motorsports. Huh? No, he drives for Weaponized and Cornerstone. It's several drivers here for Bluegrass Iracing Series have formed a team for Bluegrass, but driving other teams. Scott Fritz is also on track in the number 1 machines we're watching right now. Brian Terry coming around. This should be his first lap, taking the white flag right here, and he will go 20th quick on his first lap. Something we saw all week long so far. Drivers faster on their second lap than on the first lap by a considerable amount. And tonight I'm joined alongside Alex Robinson, Brett Wheeler behind the cameras. Believe Alex is back. I don't think Alex is back, but
I'm back.
Oh, he is back. He is back. All right.
I was answering questions while Mike was muted, but we're here.
Oh. Alrighty.
Great chat.
So Alex, we had somebody talk to me today. Travis Whitty finished second last night in the Xfinity Series. Was talking to me earlier today and said that one of the announcers here sounded like he's a real life announcer. You wouldn't have known anything about that, would you?
No, not at all.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I don't think.
Flow racing doesn't count, right?
I don't. Nobody say Brett Wheeler didn't talk, so I don't know.
but
Flow racing.
But Alex is in fact a real life driver. Blake Hensley's going to go 6th quick on his second lap on the track right now. From
you want the driver? Okay then.
Driver, announcer.
Hi, Steve.
Hello, Steve. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Miss you, Steve. Hope all is well. Keeping you in prayers. Scott Fritz's second lap is going to be good enough for 15th quick. Frankie Barroso in the number 12 machine out on track. Now we'll see where he times in. GT Hawkins is going to go quick time. He's going to have a virtual tie with Keith Hackney. 2 teammates on the front row as of right now. We'll see where Frankie Barroso times in that number 12.
BJ, you might want to rephrase there because you called me a real life driver. I am.
No, I corrected myself.
I don't have the money for that.
Yeah, real life announcer. None of us do, man. None of us do. That's why we're on here. Mo. Woo. Frankie Barroso will time in 14th quick. Mo Abbott times in 19th quick, and I am dropping things. I have a feeling my dog might have just found it. She just dove at me.
Are you dropping food on the floor? They usually do that for food.
Well, it's not even food. She's just a brat. But Mo Abbott's going to go ahead and bring it down towards pit road. He will say 19th quick. 25 drivers have gotten the time in here tonight. And right about a minute left in qualifying. Drivers yet to put a time in. And 39 total drivers have registered for the lobby. And drivers yet to put a time in here tonight. Jason Bridges, Matt Grenier, Cody Anderson, our center. TJ Hanley, Barrett Morton, Rocky Boyd III, Travis Twitty. And Peyton Hubbard, Joshua Lockwood, Bobby Hall Jr., David Farmer, Mikey Neal Jr., and Sean Kaiser have all yet to get a time in here tonight. Many drivers choosing to start from the back, others not allowed to qualify based on late entries or possibly penalties from previous weeks of racing. They'll be starting at the rear of the field here for the night.
BJ, after last night, if these guys watched last night, I want to know if anyone's going to have the same strategy as of last night and try and risk it for the win tonight. But we'll find out because qualifying's over.
Qualifying is indeed over. We'll take a quick look at our qualifying results. GT Hawkins goes quick timing at number 14 machine, followed by his teammate with a virtually identical time. You see the zeros across the board over on the right-hand side. Dustin Reinsettle, Curtis Preston, Jonathan Atkins, your top 5. Take a look at tonight's starting grid here in just a moment, but man, talk about a dead tie between teammates. You'd almost think they're on the same setup in this fixed setup race. That's unbelievable. But starting out on the pole from Cornerstone Motorsports in the 14, it's going to be GT Hawkins lined up to his outside from Cornerstone Motorsports as well as his teammate Keith Hackney in the 69.
Row number 2 on the inside, the 18 from JC Motorsports. That's Dustin Reinsettle. Starting fourth, the 20 machine from Cornerstone Motorsports. It's Curtis Preston.
Row number 3 to the inside, Shock Eye Racing Performance number 57, also driving for World of Thunder Racing this season. Jonathan Atkins lined up to his outside. Out of Carolina, it's the 5 from Kinder Motorsports, John Kinder.
Blake Hensley in the 31 going to start 7th for Weaponized Motorsports. Starting 8th, that's Brandon Holder for Team Syndicate.
Row number 5 to the inside from the Awesome Shop is going to be the 96 of Mike Peters, lined up to his outside, WJM Motorsports number 27, Roger Pierce.
Starting 11th, that is elite driver Justin Winters. Starting 12th in the 10 for Fast Banana Racing, it's Wyatt Brackett.
Row number 7 to the inside from Cornerstone Motorsports, it is the 17 of James Silvers, lined up to his outside, Powerhouse Motorsports number 12, Frankie Barroso.
Starting 15th for World of Thunder Esports, that is Sean Kostritza.
Yep.
And starting 16th, it's Josh Clemens for Highside Hustler Motorsports.
Row number 9 to the inside, CFM Esports number 1, Scott Fritz, lined up to his outside, Y&H Motorsports number 3, Brandon Robertson.
Colatio Racing in the 48, that's Mo Abbott. Starting 19th, starting 20th, Elite Motorsports number 2, it's Alex Huffman.
Starting row number 11 on the inside, Weaponized Motorsports number 88, Nick Mills, lined up to his outside, Fast Lane Motorsports number 95, Jonathan Swartz.
Starting 23rd, the 72 of Tony Iverson for Highside Hustlers. Starting 24th, Alex Healy for Team Flex.
Row number 13 is going to be Brian Taylor from the Syndicate on the inside to his outside, Rocky Boy III in the 16.
Starting 27th from Team Syndicate, it's Mikey Neal Jr. Starting 28th, that's going to be BJ Duvall. What is that?
RS Centers.
Thank you. RS Center in the 22.
Row number 15 to the inside is going to be the 84 of David Farmer to his outside, the 15 of Matt Grenier. And we're going to give you a quick rundown for the rest of the field as we're getting set to take the green flag. We got Jason Bridges 31st, 32nd, Sean Kaiser 33rd, Travis Twitty 34th, Bobby Hall Jr. 35th, DJ Hanley 36th, Peyton Hubbard 37th, Barrett Morton 38th, Joshua Lockwood 39th, and rounding out the field is going to be Cody Anderson. And as I finish that, I hear them waving off the green flag. They're not going green as quickly as they expected. Back the field was not able to get lined up like they had wanted, so they're going to delay the green, allow everybody to get grouped back together. But GT Hawkins, Keith Hackney, this is going to be an interesting one. The speeds that they put down here in qualifying were just absolutely unbelievable.
And on top of that, you got to think, remember, Kansas, the past 2 nights, there's been guys that have moved through the field here. So it's always, it's great to start on the front row and to see Hawkins and Hackney on the front row. That's going to be fun to watch throughout the night. But think about these guys like Huffman, like Abbott. We saw Abbott last night do it. Again, Ryan Terry, Iverson. The list goes on. Travis Twitty, we saw how he ran last night. These guys coming from the back. We've always seen big movers here at Kansas over the past 2 nights, and I expect to see it again. So keep an eye on some of these big movers. Try and get it done here tonight.
Yeah, that is absolutely for certain. It's been like that for a couple of weeks now. Several drivers been charging their way through the field and coming home with race wins, top 3 finishes, top 5 finishes. Been a lot of talent just getting later entry fees, not able to make a qualifying a lap for several of them, but showing that they've got what it takes, whether they qualify or not. Pitch strategies in their favor. Pace car's going to make that hard left-hand turn. Left. Yeah. Green flag is out for GT Hawkins. Dead side-by-side start for GT Hawkins and Keith Hackney. Those two virtually identical going across the stripe here as the green flag dropped on turn number 1. No change, still side-by-side. GT Hawkins a little bit quicker through the middle, but Keith Hackney, the outside line momentum going to go in his favor.
We saw it last night, these 2 lines, the bottom and the middle there. But now you see Hackney going to go down a little bit further now that he's clear of that 14 machine of Hawkins. So now you see Hackney, Hawkins. They're going to fall in line here, 1 and 2. Preston Atkins, that's 3rd and 4th right now. And then you see Ryan Stedel, as you see the battles here, the 20 machine right now, that's Preston Atkins and Ryan Stedel, all right there. That 57 machine of Atkins, he's actually closing in on that 20 machine of Preston.
Yeah, Atkins has been showing a lot of speed lately. He's been able to get up towards the front, just hasn't really been there. He did get himself a win a couple weeks back there in that number 57, but it just didn't go his way. Last week got caught up in a wreck late race, but tonight he is back for a vengeance to come after it once again. Battle going on right now for that number 5th position. You've got Blake Hensley on the inside, Ryan Stedel on the outside, and lurking right behind them is the 96 of Mike Peters. He's been pretty quick lately trying to work his way through. Jonathan Atkins going to make his way into the top 3. See him working that outside line and working it nicely. He did tell us earlier on that when he got his win a couple weeks ago that the remaining tracks on the schedule were tracks that he really liked, that he really preferred, he felt really good at. And right now, I think he is already starting to show it as he's closing the gap on GT Hawkins. Jonathan Atkins will set the fastest lap of the race thus far here on lap number 4, that last time at the stripe.
And remember, we talked about guys moving quietly through the field. Tony Iverson, in a matter of 4 laps, up 6 spots to 17th here. And we talked about it right before the green flag. Iverson did it last night, and right now he is quietly moving through this field here. So keep an eye on that mid-pack as you see the ticker. There are passes going on in that mid-pack. Battles beyond here, as there we go back, that 18 machine, the 31, 38 machine as well there. So that's some battles going on here in the mid-pack of this race early on, and you see the draft is becoming a factor here yet again, but it's a bottom side draft tonight. Last night it was more of a top side racetrack, so Kansas has been 3 different racetracks 3 different nights now.
It really has been, and right now it's still being led by Keith Hackney, or by GT Hawkins rather. Keith Hackney in 2nd, Jonathan Atkins in that 3rd spot. They've single filed out, started spreading out, and joining them in that single file line is going to be Curtis Preston, Ryan Stedel, Hensley. Everybody in the top 10 now looking to start single filing out, except for the 27 of Roger Pierce. He's sticking to that inside. We saw him do it last night in the Xfinity Series. He's looking to try doing it again, running that inside. Speaking of which, right up ahead of him, here comes diving into the inside, Blake Hensley, looking to make a move back into the top 5.
Hensley there, Ryan Stedel there, side by side there. Give it to Hensley right now. He takes over that 5th spot from Ryan Stedel. Roger Pierce, Mike Peters also you see back there. So passing becoming key here early on, as a lot of it happening here. That bottom side looks to be quicker on entry here. And you see right there that 14 machine of Hawkins. He's going to show it right there. That bottom side looks king in 3 and 4 there as you see them cut down. So now Hawkins, your new race leader. Hackney back to 2nd. Jonathan Atkins, though, closing in on your top 2.
These guys are really starting to get dicey here early on. I thought for a second there the 96 of Mike Peters was going to stick his nose right in the middle, make it 3 wide, but he thinks better of it. Stays behind Roger Pierce. He's going to work his way to the inside of Reinsettle. Now, Reinsettle really starting to fall off the pace. Not real sure what's going on there or why he'd be falling off the pace this early. I don't see the tires being a factor already, but it does appear as though there's something there that is not going his way as he continues to fall back. The 9 of Brandon Holder now working to his inside.
You know, it might be a factor of trying. It might be trying to save tires, but yes, you do see the UDTV car, that 57 machine of Jonathan Atkins closing in on your race leader, but he has company. Here comes the 20 machine of Curtis Preston. So as soon as Wheeler says it, now takes
Hey, Brent. Hey, y'all. How are y'all doing? Y'all doing such a good job.
And joining us in the booth, the one and only Steve McLean. He's glad. We're glad to have Steve in the booth. Glad to hear him laughing. We know it's been rough. We're glad to have you here. Glad to hear your voice, Steve.
Well, thank you. I just came in to watch, and then Brent got me going. Sorry to interrupt the broadcast, guys. Sorry.
We're always happy to have you here, Steve. You're one of the OGs of the UDTV broadcast, Bluegrass broadcast crew. Always glad to have you. Now Alex has gone silent on us.
Now Steve's understanding what we dealt with the past 2 nights.
Makes it entertaining.
I can tell you this, 39 drivers here tonight. The field's looking stronger than ever here at the Bluegrass. And you got a good racing all the way through, too. 3 wide. I mean, hey, it's fun to watch on the broadcast in the end, on YouTube. So you're on YouTube, make sure you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that.
Brandon Robertson diving. Brandon Robertson diving to the inside to avoid calamity, but it's as Steve was saying, make sure you hit the like button no matter where you're watching. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Hit the follow button if you're on Facebook. Say hello in the broadcast. Let us know where you're watching from.
Back to the racing action here. That 9 machine there of Holder. He's in the 6th spot. He's trying to hold off some competition here. Peters, Winters, Pierce, they're right behind that 9 machine, but they're also chasing down the 31 of Blake Hensley. Hensley has company because he's going to the inside as that 9 machine of Brandon Holder, and Mike Peters, he tried to go to the bottom machine there as well, and you see they're almost 3 wide battling behind as well.
And trying to make some moves, trying to get in position, and still lurking behind these guys is Mike Peters in that 96. I feel like Mike Peters is going to have more than what he's showing right now in that number 96 machine. He's just looking for that door to open right now, looking for the window of opportunity to go diving past these guys and get the move. And Blake Hensley's going to tag the wall just a little bit. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, up towards the front, Jonathan Atkins has made his way into that 2nd position. Now taking a look to the outside of GT Hawkins. Not going to have it there into turn number 1. Has to check up. Hawkins going to close the door.
Hawkins, Atkins, there's Preston behind as well. We might have a 3-car battle here for your race lead early on in this one here. We'll have 15 laps in the book here. Alex Huffman, another car who we talked about, he's up 8 spots, closing in on the top 10. Dustin Reinsettle, though, he's dropped back 11 spots to the 14 spots, so problems for that 18 continue as he continues to lose spots.
And not sure what's going on to cause that machine to go awry and just continue falling back throughout the field. Possibly he's decided to slow down a little bit, take his time, try to save his fuel a little bit or save his tires. We saw the fuel game really come into play, so maybe he's looking towards that, looking towards playing the fuel game again here tonight. But looking to the inside of Jonathan Atkins is the 20 of Curtis Preston, trying to look for that 2nd spot. Not going to be able to make it off of turn number 4. Here comes Keith Hackney back around the outside of him. He started on the front row, fell back. Now he's looking to make a charge back forward.
And charging into the top 10, past 2 for 1 there. And now in the 9 spot, the 2 machine, Alex Huffman, into the top 10 as well. As you see the great camera work yet again by Brett Wheeler. Here you see the cars behind, you see the battles behind there, and still cars trying to go bottom and top side here. So battles continue. There you see the 12 machine on the outside there, that 12 machine of Frankie Barroso. He is right there.
Yeah, Alex Huffman has been coming on strong here this season, been very, very quick, nearly having contact right there, but both drivers able to keep it clean. Huffman dives right back to the inside. Barroso's going to hold it up higher, coming off the corner. They're going to single file back out. Huffman moves into that 8th position. Oh, big moves. People dodging all over the place. Got one down to the apron. It looks like everybody's going to keep her pointed straight and keep her rolling. That could have been very bad, very quick. Oh, Huffman, contact with the 17. 17's up in a wall. Driver's dodging again.
We're getting a little close and personal here early on in this one here. We're not even 20 laps into this race, and we are about to have some more drama. As you see, almost 3 wide right behind there in the mid-pack. So battles still looming here. 3 wide, 2 wide battles throughout this field here, and I think we're going to close in sooner than later here. Lap 20 is about on the horizon, and I think this is where that fuel window might begin to open.
There's definitely a good chance of it. I'm sitting here watching the scoring, and I'm not sure what's going on, but I am seeing Jonathan Atkins out of the top 3 drop back through the field very, very quickly. Not real sure what happened with him, or if he went down pit road possibly, but GT Hawkins is now scored in that 36th position as we ride on board now with Travis Twitty. And I gotta say it. I don't think riding on board in that Cup car looks near as good as riding on board in his rig that he is sitting in real life right now.
Yeah, we got to see that rig, and that rig is gorgeous. Travis Twitty, that rig, it's 1 in a million. Let's put it that way. It's probably 1 in a million that you will see a rig like Travis Twitty has. But there you see Alex Huffman right now, that 2 machine. He's up into the A spot here. He's a little bit on his lonesome here, not battling with anyone. But there you see, there's Roger Pierce. Roger Pierce has that 12 machine behind him there of Frankie Barroso, and Barroso looks to go to the outside. They're not going to get there, so Roger Pierce still holds on to the 9 spot.
Yeah, Pierce last night and tonight been showing a lot of strength on the inside line. Not a lot of people to make it work. A lot of people are aiming for that outside for passes, but Pierce staying consistent, staying strong on that inside as he continues to run side by side with Barroso. Barroso's got the speed down the straightaway as you would expect with the momentum coming off the corner, but Roger Pierce sticks his nose right back into it. This time Barroso's going to come to the bottom and close the door.
So BJ Duvall, Curtis Preston is your new race leader up front there. Preston just got by Hawkins, as Hawkins is in that 2nd spot, Hackney in 3rd, but Curtis Preston now your new race leader up in the front of the pack here. So it looks like we've had about 3 to 4 different race leaders here in this one already, and a lot of passing has happened here. As you see Mike Peters there, Mike Peters trying to hold on to some spots here, and that's a 31 machine on the outside. So Peters and Hensley, that's a battle for 6th and 7th right now, and behind them is that 2 machine of Alex Huffman, who is closing in on these 2. So we might have a 3-car battle here for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
He's looking to close in and make some moves. These guys battling and slowing him down. That's going to open the door for him to continue to gain ground, hopefully get a shot to get by them. But a little update on Jonathan Atkins. Saw him drop through the standings earlier, but it might have been a connection problem. He's still running in that 4th position right behind Keith Hackney. Everybody now starting to single file back out, and as I say that, here comes the 2 of Huffman once again. He is getting aggressive here right around the halfway mark of the stage. Stage break is on lap number 55 against us. Halfway through the stage will be lap number 27 right now. Huffman wants everything he can get out of it as he is currently scored in that 7th position.
Battles continue. Huffman there trying to go to the inside.
Oh, contact! Oh, going around on the back straight away as Huffman appears. Oh, and a hard hit to the back of Huffman.
Cannot park there.
I wish I could see it. I don't know.
It is brought to you by Power Plat's presentation.
Power Plat's presentation. Love it. take a look at this instant replay here. We saw it live on screen. You got the battle between Huffman and Peters. Looks like Peters is loose coming off the turn, comes down and connects with the right rear of Huffman. That's going to point both of them up, head into the wall. These guys are sliding down the track. That looks like the 7 of Justin Winters gets in the rear end of Huffman and sends him spinning around. That was a hard hit for Alex Huffman and Justin Winters. Lucky for these cars, they are very stout cars. About halfway down in the stage, Curtis Press is going to lead everybody down pit road. I suspect it's going to be a fuel-only stop here to make it to the end of the stage. So everybody now making their way down, and I hate this to you, but I'm going to have to step aside for just a split second. I'll be right back.
Well, with that caution, Bobby Hull Jr., he is out. He has stayed out on the raceway. So he is going to be your new race leader as everyone else on pit road here. And Roger Pierce, the first one off pit road. So Roger Pierce going to win the race off pit road. He goes to the second spot here. Hackney going to go third. Hawkins and Hensley is your top 5 now that are off of pit road there. Biggest mover out of that one, Rocky Boyd. He's now up 18 spots to that A spot after the race off pit road. David Farmer, another one. He's up 17. He's going to restart 12th. Mikey Neal Jr. going to restart in the 13th spot. Has some big moves after the race off pit road there, but Bobby Hull Jr. with not pitting. He is plus 33 at the moment for Bobby Hull Jr. So let's see, does this strategy hold out here is the real question. And right now it says Roger Pierce did not pit. So it's interesting to see, did he pit or not? And now you see Bobby Hull Jr., he is going to go on to pit road here. So let's see, and there you see Roger Pierce as well. Roger Pierce on the apron. So let's see if now Pierce is going to hit pit road as well. And I don't know, so Pierce is going to pull on to pit road. So you see Bobby Hull, just a fuel stop for him too. Curtis Preston, he goes 11 seconds. So maybe right side tires for some of these guys here. As you see, actually, a lot of these guys might have either had damage or tires for some of these drivers. But now Keith Hackney going to restart as your race leader. So Hackney and Hawkins still up front after the race off pit road after Hall. And now Pierce are on pit road. Rocky Boyd now up. He'll go up even further here, as actually with these guys hitting pit road, he is now going to go back up to about the 6th spot. So now plus 20 for Rocky Boyd. He's your biggest mover. David Farmer, he's plus 19. He'll start 10th. Mikey Neal Jr. will start 11th with plus 16. So some big movers after the pit road stop here. And it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of this plays out with stage break coming in about 20 laps or less here, but pace car is off. Green flag will wave to get to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out on the speedway here, and it's going to be Hackney with another great start here. The 17 machine of James Silver's going to go side by side with that 14 of GT Hawkins. That's your battle for the second spot here, right behind the 31 machine of Blake Hensley as a battle for second still. It's Silvers and Hawkins going at it side by side. Give it to the 17 machine of James Silvers. Hawkins back to the 3rd spot there. Here comes the 31 machine, and battles behind that 31 machine of Hensley. And here comes Jonathan Atkins, shot out of a rocket. Now Atkins back in the picture here. He's into the 4th spot, going for more. Atkins up top here over the 14 machine. That's your battle for 3rd now, as Atkins and Hawkins going at it side by side. Give the 3rd spot to Jonathan Atkins, now going after the 17. So Atkins there, who it looks like Atkins took tires in that one, and it's showing that he took tires because of the speed difference here for that 57 machine as he gets by the 17 there of Silver. So now Jonathan Atkins going after your race leader of Keith Hackney. He's bringing the 9 machine here of Brandon Holder, another car who took tires, and you see there goes Hackney. He drops back. So Mikey Neal Jr., Holder, and Atkins, your top 3, all took tires here. Now Schwartz So the play on those fresh tires here, they are shot out of a cannon. They look good to begin here as Hackney now drop back to the ace spot here. And these guys with fresh tires are moving in to the top 10, if not further up. Atkins is your new race leader. Brandon Holder in second. Mikey Neal Jr. third. Mo Abbott and Jonathan Schwartz. That is your top 5 here. But there you see a battle for the race lead yet again. Atkins and Holder going at it here. Give it to Atkins right now as they cross the start-finish line here. Lap number 31 in the books. And it's still Atkins Holder. That is your top 2. That battle for the race lead. And then it is Mikey Neal Jr. in the third spot. He's up 24 spots into the third spot. Then Jonathan Schwartz. He's up 18 as now him and Mo Abbott going to go at it here. Mo Abbott in that 48 up top there. The 95 machine of Jonathan Schwartz on the inside there. That is currently your battle for the 4th spot. And then behind it there you see the 10 of Wyatt Brackett in the 6th spot. He's +6. So he is making some moves here. Tony Iverson, he is now moving into the top 10 here. He's up to 7 is Tony Iverson. So again, these guys with fresh tires, they are now into your top 10 as there it is. The top 10 have all took fresh tires here. Guys like Keith Hackney, Hawkins, those guys that only took fuel, they have now dropped out of the top 10. So if BJ Duval is back, which I think he is, and he might have BJ, you missed everything. We have a new top 10, and all top 10 took tires. So now Keith Hackney, GT Hawkins, they're out of the top 10, and these fresh tires, when they kicked in, they got shot out of a rocket, I will tell you that much.
Yeah, they most definitely did. I was watching. I had to go silent for a few minutes there. But Mikey Neal Jr. up into that 3rd spot. He's the winningest driver of the Cup Series last season, and tonight showing exactly why he is running up 24 positions right now. He's still the biggest mover of the race, even with all these drivers up inside the top 5, top 10 that are just absolutely flying right now. Jonathan Atkins, Brandon Holder, Mikey Neal Jr., Mo Abbott, Jonathan Schwartz, your current top 5. Look at the different lines being utilized. Mo Abbott goes to the high side. Mikey Neal Jr. goes to the inside. Those two drivers using 2 completely different lines. You can see the momentum run for Mo Abbott coming down the straightaway after running the high side.
Talk about guys that did not want to see how this worked out. Hackney, Hawkins, they're back to 16th, 17th. Blake Hensley, he is back out as well with a caution flag out. Guaranteed, BJ Duval. I would not be surprised one bit if those guys that took fuel take tires here, because guess what? Now it's coming down to, if not, stage points are coming up very quickly here in a matter of, 20 laps?
Yeah, right. Yeah, 20 laps. At the end of lap number 55 is the stage break, and I want to double check something here. Kansas State, you have 5 sets of tires, so they have 1 extra set of tires than what they would normally have throughout their race. They have 1 on the car and 4 in the pits. So if they pit, right about every 25 laps, they have a set of tires on pit road for about every 25 lap pit stop. But here's the question: who wants to take and save one of those sets of tires? Or would it be a good idea to take and save one of those sets of tires for a late race, looking for a late race caution maybe, or something to get that extra burst of speed over everybody else who might have used all 5 sets already?
And there they go. Blake Hensley, Rocky Boyd, all going to hit pit road there. So cars going in, and BJ Duval, now it's going to be interesting to see if these cars are taking fuel just to be safe, or if these cars are taking tires here. And it looks like some of them are taking tires. Some of them are fixing some damage, and some major damage on some of these cars here. So there's some contact that we have not seen on these drivers that now it's taking tolls. But there you see a lot more cars. Roger Pierce in on pit road as well here. And I think, let's see. As
does look like several are taking tires. I haven't seen Blake Hensley's car go up. A little surprised at how long he's been in his pit stall without that car going up on the jacks. Hensley still sitting on pit road. I wonder if he got a penalty. I never saw it go up. I never saw him take any tires, but he sat there for a very long time. Blake Hensley's pit stop wound up being, if I can find him, a lot of moving around and timing and scoring.
41 seconds.
Yeah, 41-second pit stop for Blake Hensley. That is absolutely a monstrous
But on top
Pit
of that,
stop.
talk about some of these other guys. Rocky Boyd, 43. Winners, 50. Bobby Hall Jr., 40 seconds. And remember, Bobby Hall Jr., the reason that he would not in the top 5 of that truck race 2 nights ago, he bit the bullet there on pit road, got caught for speeding, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what bit him yet again. As you see Travis Twitty now, James Silvers, those guys are hitting pit road here, and I guarantee they're going for tires as well because they did not get tires. So everyone on the speedway, it looks to be, except for GT Hawkins and Keith Hackney, are the only 2 guys, it seems, that did not take tires. A few other guys are on track that did not take tires yet, but now it's going to be interesting to watch these other guys that took tires that are starting back behind them to see if they shoot out of a rocket here, because we still have under 20 to go now, but we still have about 15 laps to go when we go back to the green flag here before the end of the stage break. So now let's see the guys that took the tires now. Is it going to be an advantage for them, or will guys still stay in the top 10 like Atkins, like Holder, Abbott, Schwartz? Because think here, 26 was when they pitted. We're now 10 laps in on these tires. We have another 15 laps to go on these tires here. Can they hold up, or will these guys with brand new tires kick up into the top 10 for stage points? Looks like lights are going to go out. So we're going to go back to the green flag this time by here. Atkins, Holders, and it looks like Atkins will take the top side. Looks like everyone that restarts on the front row on the pole takes that top side. We've seen, maybe 5 guys take the inside this week?
There's not been a whole lot of them, that is for sure. You get that outside line, you get ahead of the second place car, you get that dive done into turn number 1. Gives you almost like an extra burst of speed running downhill into turn 1. So that's what a lot of these guys are looking for. Jonathan Atkins up in the front all by himself right now. He doesn't have any teammates with him, so he's going to take every shot that he can get, every little burst of speed that he can get to really get a good run, especially on these restarts. So I can definitely agree with the decision to go to the outside line.
Whew.
Pace car looking to make that left-hand turn here in just a moment. Holder, Atkins looking to bring him back to the green flag. You see Holder holding back just a little bit, so he's got a good view of that number 57 to his outside. Jonathan Atkins bringing us to the Geico restart zone. You see it marked on the inside right there. It is green flag is out. And off to a good start as expected is Jonathan Atkins. Right about a 4 or 5 car length lead. Immediately 3 wide down into turn number 1 for that second spot. This is exactly what Atkins wants to see in his rearview mirror. See these guys battling it out. That's going to allow him to, maybe not, but I would have expected that to have allowed him to gain some distance on these guys, but Mikey Neal Jr. just absolutely flying right now. Shot straight in that second spot and right up to Atkins' back bumper. Neal's going to choose the inside. Atkins up to the outside. Atkins nearly up into the wall. He's going to try to close the door. Mikey Neal Jr. push him all the way down against the grass, barely leaving him a lane. Mikey Neal Jr. now going to take it side by side in turn number 1.
And remember, Mikey Neal Jr. there had the top side as well, so that restart with the bottom side miss. I have a feeling Brandon Holder missed a shift there, the money shift at the start there, and that's what's hogged up and clogged that bottom lane on the restart there. But now under 15 to go in the stage break, it's Atkins, Neal, Holder, Schwartz, and Mo Abbott, your top 5. Brackett, Iverson, Tony Iverson in the top 10 there, Ryan Settle, Barroso, Mills, and Fritz. That's your top 11. But talk about a guy, the only guy it looks like that started within the top 5 that is still in the top 10 is Dustin Reinsettle. Everyone else has started either 10th or back, it feels like, that is up there. Mikey Neal Jr. up 25 spots. He's looking to make it 26, and if he makes it 26, he is your new race leader. But Jonathan Atkins still holding on to your race lead as you see battles throughout here. And when we get even closer to the stage break, watch the top 10 start to battle even more.
It definitely going to be a lot of movers and shakers. So we go 3 wide down into turn number 1. That's going to be Iverson to the outside. Not sure who that is in the middle, but the inside is going to be John Kinder. The middle is going to be the 88 of Nick Mills there. Those guys managed to single file and double file it back out. Nick Mills making some moves. Now he's going to come to the inside. Whoa, nearly making contact there off of turn number 4. He's going to pick up another position there and bringing John Kinder right along with him.
And a developing story here. Bobby Hall Jr. did not leave pit road. Remember when we talked about that speeding penalty? Bobby Hall Jr. is done for the night, it seems, as so is Brandon Robertson. So 2 cars are done for the night here, and one of them is a quick car there. But Atkins, Neil Holder, still your top 3, as you see Nick Mills there in the 88 machine. He's trying to catch up to the 1 machine of Scott Fritz. Fritz in the A spot there. You see battles behind Mills. That is Kinder, that's Hubbard. That's for your 10th spot there, as Hubbard up 25 spots. He is looking for more, but that 5 machine of Kinder holds him off now. But there is also Ryan Stedel. So Ryan Stedel and Hubbard closing in on the top 10 there of John Kinder.
And Peyton Hubbard from Next Level Racing, very talented, very fast driver, trying to work his way through the field as we watch the battles going on right now between Wyatt Brackett and Nick Mills. Mills to the inside, Brackett to the outside. Mills going to take it all the way down to the side edge of the grass right there, but the outside line just seemed to prevail right there. John Kinder started to come around his outside. All the way up by the wall is Wyatt Brackett. Thought for sure he was going to get into the wall right there. John Kinder's going to come right along with Nick Mills around the inside.
There you see Brackett, the 10 machine. Now he's going for more there. That's the 88 machine of Nick Mills. They're in front, and now they're side by side is the 5 machine there. So the 5 machine and the 88 machine. Those two side by side. That's Kinder, that's Mills, Hubbard, and Brackett right behind him as well here as battles continue to heat up. We said it when we close in on 10 to go in this stage break. Watch the top 10 start to battle even more. And right now, everyone battling for that 10 spot. Mills, Kinder, Hubbard, Brackett, Healy right there as that 10 spot, 9 spot, even 8 spot up for grabs in this one.
Can we get a closer look at that number 99 machine? Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing on the front of that number 99? And I think on the rear quarter panel. I think we got 2 friendly logos there that that we tend to like here. Yeah, there's one of them. There's World of Thunder Esports League, yeah. And I think on the rear quarter panel I might have seen another logo in white. Might have. Not real sure. No, that's Ghost. Okay. I thought I seen the UDTV logo back there. I'll have to ask him about that one. Tell him he's missing a logo.
Well, guess what? If you want to see a UDTV logo, you just got to look up front because that's Jonathan Atkins. He is your current race leader, and there he is at 57 machine. Out in front of this one, Atkins, Neil Holder, still your top 3, but there we are looking at this nice number 57 machine of Jonathan Atkins, who is out in front here. And let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? There it is, the UDTV logo. But as we say it, look who's coming to the inside. That is Mikey Neal Jr. Mikey Neal Jr., talk about big moves. 26 spots up. Is now your new race leader with 5 to run in the stage break here. Mikey Neal Jr. takes over the race lead. Atkins, Holder, Schwartz, and Mo Abbott still your top 5 here. Plus 26 for your race leader. Plus 19 for Schwartz now at 3rd. And then plus 14 for Mo Abbott in 5th. So now talk about 3 big movers within your top 5 here. And one of them is your current race leader here. And he's starting to pull away from Jonathan Atkins.
Yeah, right now Neil's showing exactly why he was the winningest driver of the series last season, as that number 8 machine continues to pull away with 5 laps to go in the stage. Mo Abbott's going to get up into the wall. It's going to open the door for Frankie Barossa, but Mo Abbott doesn't look like he really slowed down at all as he comes off turn number 2 with a huge run down the back straightaway over Brandon Holder. Barossa's going to fall in line with him and come right along. Both drivers going to stay up the high side. Holder going to stick to the inside in that number 9. Ooh, little squirrel off the corner. Both drivers able to hold on to it, though.
Barossa there. He is in that 5th spot right now. Barossa, though, under pressure here from the 9 machine of Holder. But Holder and Kinder, that's a battle for 6th and 7th there. But they're trying to pull in that 12 machine here and make it a battle for that 5th spot here. Peyton Hubbard, he's up 28 spots into the A spot here. As Hubbard started 30th and now up into the A spot. Did that math right? I think I did that math right. Don't question me there. I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
you might be able to tell me that.
Hubbard is up 28 spots. 8 and 8 is 16, so that would make 36th.
Thank you. I'm not good at math. I just know how to call racing, and I don't know how to do that right either. So we're just going to continue doing it, though. So the 12 machine of Frankie Barroso still trying to hold on to that fifth spot as Kinder now to the inside here. Battle for that fifth spot here. BJ Duval, 2 laps to go in the stage.
Yeah, laps are winding down very, very quickly as lap number 53 is in the books. We're on lap number 54 now for Mikey Neal Jr. And I'm sitting here watching the times, and the entire field is actually starting to close the gap on Mikey Neal Jr. Oh, and caution flag is going to fly. Caution flag is going to fly. That is going to be the end of the stage as well. Here in just a moment, we'll get a look at the caution. Take a look at GT Hawkins in the 14, possibly. There is GT Hawkins sliding down through the infield there. Not real sure what happened there. I think possibly a connection issue. Either causing him to have contact with another driver or causing him to get in a wall. Not entirely sure. We just know he reappears sliding down through the infield. Unfortunate turn of events for the 14 of GT Hawkins. It most definitely would have to be a connection issue. We also are a bit surprised to see that GT Hawkins' connection quality looks good. Ping looks good. So definitely a little surprising to see. But it does happen. It's not uncommon to see quick spikes in your...
Let's begin, BJ Duval. It's time for the stage break pit stops here. Who is going to win the race off pit road? We saw it in that first caution. A lot of big moves in that pit stop. So let's see here as everyone's starting to hit pit road. This is going to help a guy like Keith Hackney. Remember, he ran that entire stage on the same set of tires. So for Keith Hackney here, he's going to have one more set of tires than most of the field does here. But you see cars starting to pull off their pit stalls here. And it looks like Mikey Neal Jr., unless let's see, does anyone beat him off pit road? So Mikey Neal Jr., he is going to continue to hold on to the race lead. Barely. Jonathan Atkins, he's going to hold on to second here. Schwartz, Barroso, Mo Abbott, that's your top 5 off of pit road there. But talk about Atkins there, just a bonus of having that pit spot at the front of the field there. Jonathan Atkins takes advantage of it and holds on to the second spot with the race off pit road, and Peyton Hubbard into the 9th spot here. So still some big movers benefiting from that pit stop. But Keith Hackney, he's going to be one to watch now with a fresh set of tires here. Keith Hackney, remember, he set quick time here, tied for quick time here tonight. Hackney restarts about 19th here, so it's going to be fun to watch him and Dustin Reinstedel with fresh tires here, and now a long race to go yet.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here looking at times. Mikey Neal Jr. did a good job on pit lane, whereas Atkins' crew did a good job in pit road. Atkins was almost a half a second faster in his pit stop than what Mikey Neal Jr. was. Mikey Neal Jr., the benefit of being able to get in pit road first helped him considerably on that one there. Jonathan Atkins, all the way up to the front, allowed him to get out ahead of Jonathan Schwartz. He had the fastest of the top 3. Jonathan Atkins had the fastest pit stop. Just was not quite fast enough to get ahead of Mikey Neal Jr. Be interested to see what lane Mikey Neal Jr. chooses on his restart. Now it's the first time we've seen him restart in the lead position here. But if he can get the restart with the fresh tires, I'll be interested to see where he chooses.
This is where, so now the stage break is done. So now it's make or break time. Here is where it gets down. You know, honestly, it's always one of those, if you can get by the stage break, you survived. Now it's time, you know, you can race conservative to the stage break. You can race a little conservative yet. But when it gets to lap 100 and there's 34 laps left, you got to be ready to race for a win, because if not, you might as well park it.
I wouldn't race too conservative. You don't want to get mired back too far. You get mired back too far, there's no there's not a lot of chance to push it late in the last 34 laps if you get mired back too far. Unless there's a caution right around there, everybody's able to come down and get fresh tires, or you come down and get fresh tires and get lucky and nobody else does, and he's able to make some big moves. Playing it safe, yes, but you want to try your best to keep it inside top 5. But let's go out on the pace car. Mike Neal Jr. is going to choose the inside first car, I believe, of the night, if I'm not mistaken, choosing the inside. He's going to have the 95 Jonathan Swartz lined up behind him. Jonathan Atkins to his outside. Frankie Barossa behind Atkins. Pace car looking to make that hard left-hand turn here out of turn number 4. Mikey Neal Jr. gonna lead them to the Geico restart zone in that number 8 machine. He's got a very fast driver to his outside as well. These two neck and neck for quite a while there before Mikey Neal Jr. finally took over the race lead. Geico restart zone in sight. Mikey Neal Jr. fires. Jonathan Atkins is going to stick right there with him, though. He's not giving up a whole lot of room this time.
Mikey Neal Jr. out in front here. That battle for second. Schwartz, Atkins going at it there. The 48 machine of Mo Abbott. He is in the 4th spot there. Frankie Barossa, though, keeping him in close quarters as well, because here comes Barossa now to the outside for that 4th spot there. But Schwartz and Atkins still your battle for the 2nd spot there, with Atkins holding on by a little bit there of a nose over Schwartz right now as they come out of the corner there. Schwartz going to cut to the inside there. Atkins going to hold up top there. Atkins still holds on to the 2nd spot. Mo Abbott and Frankie Barossa still battling it out for that 4th spot. Brandon Holder there in 6th. Scott Fritz, Peyton Hubbard in 8th. Kinder Silvers, that is your top 10 still. But Mikey Neal Jr. holding onto the race lead and pulling out a little bit of advantage, but caution flag waves here. And now you're going to bunch them back up yet again here and have another restart.
It didn't take them real long here. In just a moment, we'll get a... Well, we do not have record of the... Take a look here. Ooh, we got one up in the wall. It's going to be Jason Bridges in a 34. We'll try and see just what the cause of that was. He's middle 3 wide. Keep an eye on the 6 on his inside. Moves right up into the 34. Pushes him up. Catches Blake Hensley. Hensley gets pinched up in the wall. 34 hangs on. Everybody keeps it pointed straight. Saves the car and keeps it pointed straight. But the 34 of Jason Bridges was sideways enough for it to bring out the yellow. Sounds like Barrett Morton is going to be ruled at fault for this caution. By the way, it sounded from race control. And right now, your top 5 continues to sit. Mikey Neal Jr., Jonathan Atkins, Jonathan Swartz, Mo Abbott, Frankie Barossa, Brandon. Well, Frank Barossa running top 5. Brandon Holder, Scott Fritz, John Kinder, James Silvers, and Wyatt Brackett, your top 10. Your points leader, GT Hawkins, mired all the way back in that 25th position. Not at all where he wants to be. One driver coming around getting his lap back. It looked, it's hard to tell, he's moving by so quickly. That looked like the 27 of Roger Pierce getting back on the lead lap. We'll be interested to see here if Mikey Neal Jr. continues to stick to that inside line on this restart, if he chooses the outside again, or this time, and put Jonathan Atkins down to the inside. Worked out for him pretty well on the last restart, being on the inside. Not real sure if that's where he's going to want to stay, though. We've seen drivers earlier starting on the outside get much better restarts, much better jumps on the start, and take off and pull ahead.
So, BJ Duvall, you were at Nashville last week, right? Solid chat, BJ.
Say it again. Say it again.
Last week you were at Nashville, right?
Believe so. I'll double check that. I
You were at Nashville last week because you're at Kansas this week. So I want to say next week is North Wilkesboro.
Sure is.
So North Wilkesboro, Charlotte, Watkins Glen, Nashville Superspeedway, and then Daytona, and then it is time for playoffs. So still a lot of racing to happen here before we get into playoff time. But wins and, like we said, stage points and everything leading up to the playoffs. Now, especially with only a few more races left, it becomes more valuable than ever here, especially if you're trying to lock up a championship this year.
That it most definitely does. Forgive me, I have a dog that does not want to leave me alone at the moment. Keeps trying to jump in my lap. But lights should be going out here if I'm not mistaken. And lights are out. Looks like Mike Neal Jr. is going to stick with that inside line restart. Put Jonathan Atkins back to the outside. He seems to really like the inside, likes getting into the corners low. Not real sure what's going on behind him. Looked like they were going to try to pace it 3 wide there. But row 1's going to be Mike Neal Jr., Jonathan Atkins. Row 2, Mo Abbott, Jonathan Swartz. Row 3, Frankie Barroso and Brandon Holder. As we get set to come back to the green flag. '74. Yep, I like it. I know you guys can't hear Brett Wheeler in the background, but as we get set to come back to green, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what's going on. Thank you, Jason, by the way, for allowing us to mention it over here on the Bluegrass side. But Stephen McMillian, as green flag drops for Mike Neal Jr., but Stephen McMillion's father passed away earlier this week. And World of Thunder Esports League holding a memorial race Sunday the 19th. And hello. And it will be a 74-lap feature to commemorate his father's, Stephen McMillion's father, Kenneth McMillion, his 74 years of life. But battle going on for that second spot right now. Jonathan Atkins to the outside of Jonathan Swartz. And now taking a look to the outside of Mike Neal Jr. for the race lead. Huge run off of turn number 4 for Jonathan Atkins. Will Mike Neal Jr. squeeze him? He does not. Takes it back to the inside. Huge run for Jonathan Atkins. Look at the momentum he's carrying around the outside. He's bringing Frankie Barroso right along with him.
Battles throughout here. Barroso in that second spot. Mikey Neal there as battles 2 by 2. They go. Barroso, Neal. That's your second. Battle for the 4th spot is Schwartz and Abbott. There is caution. I get excited and then a caution happens. I'm done talking.
Well, the caution was after by the half a lap there. I was waiting on you to realize it, but you know.
Look, I'm just going to
take a look at the NLRA instant replay here to see just what happened here. 3 wide coming off the turn. RS centers up into the 28 of Josh Clemens. Clemens is going to go around. And it's not where Clemens wants to be. Clemens getting a short end of the stick on that one. Got some fakes going on for pit road. Mo Abbott goes down and it brings it back up. Sounds like race control is going to rule that one on the 22 of RS Centers.
BJ Duvall.
Alex Robinson.
While we're under caution, can I make your head hurt for a second?
My head's been hurting all day. You have no idea what I've done today.
Well, I think I do, but I just want to know your knowledge here about cars because I know the answer to this one, but I want you to see if you know the answer here.
Okay.
So, spark plugs have nothing to do with your cylinder misfiring, right?
Wrong. Completely wrong.
No,
Without the spark plug, you get no fire.
No. You know why I'm saying right? You know why it's misfiring?
Why?
Because there's a ginormous hole in the cylinder.
That might have something to do with it.
Thank you.
But top 5 right now: Jonathan Atkins, Barroso, Mike Neal Jr., Jonathan Swartz, Mo Abbott. Looks like some drivers might be coming down pit road. Might get some more fakes out of them. No, I don't believe. No, they are not going down. Just going to pace around the apron. Sounds like Jonathan Atkins going to choose the outside. He was able to get the lead right before the caution came out. Frankie Barroso moved into that second position right along with him. That's going to mire Swartz and Neal into that third and fourth position back in row number 2. Swartz going to have the advantage here with Jonathan Atkins choosing the outside. Let's see just how much that advantage plays into his favor.
But thank you, BJ Duval.
Hey, you're welcome.
Just thought thought you'd get a chuckle out of that because he goes, it's the spark plugs. I'm like, no, it's the giant hole. But sure, it's the spark plugs. You go spend money on the spark plugs.
Well,
right? Thank you.
It'll be all right.
Look, I wish I had the money just to spend money on spark plugs when I know I don't need them.
Right. No, I think my dog's trying to tell me that she's hungry, but lights right on the pace car, side by side, getting ready to come out of turn number 4. Atkins.
Jeez.
Pace car is in. Jonathan Swartz. Oh, I can't. Leading us to the Geiger restart zone, and green flag is out. Good jump for Jonathan Atkins. I think I said Swartz a moment ago, but Jonathan Atkins, Swartz going to follow right along with him, but does not have the momentum into turn number 1 to take over that second spot. Not even the third spot for him. A little bit slower start for Swartz, as Barroso is going to move up to the high side there and close the door for Swartz if he were to have a run down the back straightaway. Mike Neal Jr. looking very strong right now on the inside. Swartz runs a cut down line through 3 and 4, entered high, exiting low. He's going to have to move back up, close the door for Barroso. The car in the wall on back. Do not get a caution as of yet. Everybody's going to keep it rolling. Wyatt Brackett, he's going to come to a stop once everybody gets by him and take the car down pit road. Good on him to keep the car rolling until everybody got by. Top 2 now single filing out. Still a battle going for that third spot. And as I say that, here comes Mikey Neal Jr. for second. Look at the speed he's got on the inside line right now. Mikey Neal Jr. really getting that inside line working tonight.
Yeah, and battles continue. And look who's back in the top 10 for the time being. The 69 of Keith Hackney. He is back in the top 10 here. So remember, he lost his spots there because of tires there when he didn't take tires. But now he's back in the top 10. So keep an eye on Keith Hackney there. But talk about guys who did not start in the top 10 that are in the top 10. Mikey Neal Jr., Frankie Barroso, Schwartz, Abbott, Fritz, Huffman, and Silvers. All guys were not starting in the top 10 are all currently in the top 10 right now, and they are showing why they deserve to have a chance at the win later on tonight here. But Atkins right now still your race leader.
Talking quickly about Keith Hackney making his way back in the top 10. He's still currently fighting for that position right now as Rocky Board scored with that 10th position. But Keith Hackney, he told us a few weeks back when he got a race win, I believe it was at Bristol Dirt, when he told us that, he was here now. He was coming. He hadn't been putting the time in, getting practice time in like he would have liked. As we go 3 wide down into turn number 1, Rocky Boyd split the difference right up the middle. He's got CFM Esports to his outside of Scott Fritz. Kinder Performance to the inside of John Kinder. John Kenner's going to have to back out of it, coming down the back straightaway, though, and allow Rocky Boyd down to that inside line. But back to Keith Hackney, he told us that he was here. He was going to start putting the time, and he was going to start racing more and getting better at these cars. You know, he was last season's truck champion, and this season he's here to race. He said he's running the Xfinity Series, he's running the Cup Series, and he's doing a fantastic job as he's working his way back forward, scored in that 9th position now.
Because there you see Mo Abbott, that 48 machine, in 6th right now. Rocky Boyd in that 7th spot right behind Keith Hackney. Again in the 8th spot, Scott Fritz, Alex Huffman. That is still guys out in the top 10 there. As you see the 8 machine there, that is Mikey Neal Jr. as a Neal Jr. there in the top spot. Then it's Barroso. Then it's Schwartz. That is your top 3 here. As you see the 12 machine there of Barroso trying to go to the outside there of the 8 machine of Mikey Neal Jr. They are going to go side by side here for the race lead. And right now it's going to be Mikey Neal Jr. holding on the inside there. The 12 machine of Frankie Barroso on the outside there. As side by side they went. Now it's going to be Neal Jr. holding on by almost a half a car length there, as now they go side by side yet again here. And now it's going to be Barroso and Neal again. This battle for the race lead heats up, and now Jonathan Schwartz is closing in on your race leaders.
Yeah, I don't expect to see Mikey Neal Jr. let up easy. You see the outside line momentum really prevailing for Frankie Barroso down the back straightaway. But look at the speed into turn 3 that Mikey Neal Jr. has. How much can he hold off of turn number 4? Looks like he's going to maintain. No, he does not. Frankie Barroso is going to be scored the race leader at the stripe. Previous race leader Jonathan Atkins now sits back in that 5th spot and just sitting back and watching this battle. But Frankie Barroso now got that outside line really working, and the Jonathan Atkins is going to close the door for Mikey Neal Jr. trying to move up to the high side. Here comes Schwartz into that 2nd position. Nope, Schwartz is not going to have it in turn number 3. Mikey Neal Jr. gets another run.
Mikey Neal Jr. still holding on there. You see Jonathan Schwartz in that 3rd spot. Behind him, you see Atkins, you see Holder. Now the top 5, and here comes Mo Abbott as well. So the top 6 cars there are right in line with each other here. So battles continue out right now. Your race leader, the 12 machine of Frankie Barroso, Mikey Neal Jr. in 2nd. Trying to hold on to 2nd is Neal Jr. as Schwartz right now. He's going to go to the top side. There you see the 9 machine of Holder and Atkins. That's your battle for 4th. And then that 48 machine of Mo Abbott right there as well.
And tires are really starting to come into effect. And I think Mikey Neal Jr. really having to wheel that car right now as hard as he ran earlier for the race lead, for a 2nd position, riding right now in that 2nd spot. I think he's in a bit of a danger zone, struggling a little bit right now, but he's got a hold of it for the moment as Jonathan Schwartz washed away up high that time and had to back out of a little bit to stay out of the wall. Jonathan Atkins looking to charge back forward, looking a little back further through the field though. Got some big movers back, like 9th place of Rocky Boyd battling with James Silvers right now. Silvers, a very, very quick driver. He's going to move up in front of Rocky Boyd and close the door on Boyd. But Boyd is up 16 positions right now. A little further back, we've got Alex Healy up 11 positions in that 13th spot. He's been having a pretty decent run for himself, staying quiet, just slowly working his way forward. And right behind him, the guy who started on pole in a virtual tie with Keith Hackney found himself in some trouble early. He is down 14 spots. That's GT Hawkins back in that 15th place.
Hawkins at least making it count here. He's working his way back up front here. And remember, when he got that caution earlier on, he only took fuel. He went into pit road there, only took fuel, and now he's back up into the 14th spot. So there is still some time left in this race. Actually, a lot of time left in this race here for Hawkins to get back up and challenge for that race lead. But right now, Barroso, Neal, Schwartz, Hackins, and Abbott are still in that top 5. But you see there's Hawkins right now. Hawkins trying to hold off the 72 machine. That is going to be Tony Iverson. Remember, Tony Iverson was in the top 10 earlier in this race. Now Iverson in 15th, trying to work his way up. But Sean Kaiser quietly again. He's up 14 spots into the 18th spot. But remember, from where you started up 14 spots to 18, that just shows how far you had to climb as you see Hawkins now get passed by not only Iverson, but also Curtis Preston.
And Curtis Preston looked very, very quick off turn number 4 that time, looking to make some moves forward as he's inside of Alex Healy right now. Tony Iverson all the way up to the outside. Look, go 3 wide. Healy's going to back out of it and give away to Curtis Preston, moving into that 13th spot.
Hawkins there in that 14 machine. He's still trying to hold on to what he has. Alex Healy, Tony Iverson. Those 2 cars trying to move up front here. But remember, the draft needs to play dividend here. As you see Hawkins, he got in the draft for that 97 of Healy. Now he's going to go to the inside here, try and get by that 97 of Healy here. That are side by side. That 72 machine, the Futurama car, that is Tony Iverson. Iverson still holding on to 14th here, but Hawkins and Healy there, they're battling it out. Now here comes Mike Peters to join the fray. Peters now trying to go battle it out here, still side by side they will go, as there are battles throughout this raceway here. Frankie Barroso, he is now losing time on your race leader of Mikey Neal Jr. Remember, Neal Jr. was fighting the car a little bit here after burning some tire off, but now he is starting to pull away just a hair over Frankie Barroso. That is your front runner still in this one. Mike Peters, though, he is starting to pull away here from Kaiser and Healy there, as Alex Healy dropped back to the 18th spot there as battles continue on throughout this raceway. Mo Abbott trying to hold on to the 5th spot here as they starting to pull away from the rest of the field here. Keith Hackney, though, we haven't talked about it. Hackney up to the 6th spot here. John Kinder in 7th. Alex Huffman in 8th. As there you see Mo Abbott now gets by the 95 machine of Schwartz there. So Abbott holds back. And now here comes Hackney. Hackney in the top 5. Keith Hackney up to the top 5. Here he comes to the inside of Abbott. He's going to try to get by Abbott for that 4th spot.
Yeah, Hackney's been doing a fantastic job throughout the entire season running the Cup Series. We saw it last season having early race speed and early tire speed and late tire speed throughout the entire tire run. He's very good at being fast and just seemingly maintaining what's almost a ridiculous speed a lot of times. As right now sitting in that 5th spot, he has worked his way through the field, which you know that's going to put wear on the tires, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Keith Hackney just got to get up here, get up towards the front, and then maintain pace, maintain speed right there with the front guys as Mo Abbott running in that 4th spot, trying to reel in Jonathan Atkins in 3rd, and is slowly doing so, about 3/10 faster than Mo Abbott, or than Jonathan Atkins that last time by is Mo Abbott.
Mo Abbott there in the 4th spot. Keith Hackney right behind there. That's BJ Duvall. I thought you went MIA, so I just was going and took a breather, and then you showed back up. So magically, BJ Duvall just likes to give me a heart attack at some points here. But Mo Abbott,
fun.
Thanks. Mo Abbott, though, in the 4th spot. Keith Hackney in the 5th spot. But Mikey Neal Jr. over a half-second lead now over Frankie Barroso. Was that BJ?
And pit stops are being called out. Watch pit road this time by. I was a little surprised to see it until I look back at the laps. These guys have gone almost 40 laps on their tires. I believe it's right at 35 laps on their tires. These guys are coming down pit road. This should be, if this is as long as they can go on their fuel, this is going to leave them 10 laps on their fuel. Alex, we're right about that point where we were seeing last night the fuel strategy, the fuel saving, and seeing these guys stretch it far further than we ever thought they could.
Honestly, I think that's what they did here. They stretched the fuel run as far as they could go, and now it's going to be interesting to see here because some of these guys, they're going to have to pit very soon here. If this is their fuel window, if they push that fuel window, they're going to have to pit very quickly here. But Mikey Neal Jr., Barroso, Abbott, Huffman, Holder, those guys still have not pitted since lap 55. So how many more laps will they go here? And remember, if you take a while on pit road, you will end up a lap down here, and it gives guys like Neil Jr. Barroso advantage, especially if a caution comes out and you see Hackney, Kinder. Those guys are already a lap down here after them pitting. So right now you see more cars hitting pit road. That is going to be Mikey Neal Jr., Barroso, Mo Abbott, and look who is back up front. It is GT
Car going
Hawkins. Don't tell
Jonathan Swartz, I believe that was. No, I'm not real sure who that was going around at pit entry. A driver was spinning, but no caution is going to fly. I believe he was able to save it, but he slid past the pit road entrance and did not make it down pit road. I saw red and white, thought it was Jonathan Swartz, but he had already come down pit road. So I'm not real sure who that was. And went sliding past pit road sideways right there.
There up front, it's GT Hawkins, but now he's going to go in pit road here. So now it's a matter of, do they take tires? Do they just take fuel is the major question here. And especially on a green flag pit stop here, it's going to be a major question of who takes tires and who does not.
Sitting here watching pit time. So far, the only driver to not take tires is Rocky Boyd. He's got an 8.77 second pit stop, so he might have possibly taken 2 right sides, but everybody else taking 4 tires so far on their pit stops. Everybody on pit road right now is also taking 4 tires by the looks of it. Not seeing anybody else. Now everybody is taking at least 2 tires. 90% of the field taking 4 tires. Rocky Boyd, the only driver I see that did not take 4 tires so far. But everybody from 1st through 15th has not come down pit road yet. As I say that, Alex Huffman actually reaches his pit stop in that 14th position. And battles going on all throughout the field right now. Nick Mills is scored as our current race leader. He's got in second, Blake Hensley is our race leader right in front of him. You see drivers getting themselves back on the lead lap. This is not the position those guys want to be in. You want to come down while the next drivers, or the drivers that have pitted, are as far back as possible. That is your typical ideal goal. You come down pit road, you get your fuel and tires, you get back on the track and give up as little ground as possible. Nick Mills gets sandwiched in the middle. Barroso on the outside. Silver is searching all over the place, trying to find his way by right now. The 6 of Barrett Morton riding in that 3rd spot. He's just sitting back praying right now. Justin Winters in the 7 machine in 4th place. He's been staying quiet here tonight. Here comes Sean Kostritza tagging up the rear of these guys on your screen now, starting to work his way around the outside.
And talk about someone we haven't talked about tonight. Well, he's going to have to pit sooner than later. It's Barrett Morton. Barrett Morton up in the 2nd spot right now, but we're waiting to see when he pits here as old car around here. That's going to help a lot of guys, especially by the name of Barrett Morton.
Yeah, that is not what a lot of these guys that have already come down pit road wanted to see, is they're now going to be mired at the back of the field to end up getting the free pass. Take a look at the instant replay. We saw 4 wide. David Farmer in the middle just kind of hooks the 88 of Nick Mills and up into the wall. I believe he's the car that I saw spinning down by the edge of pit road. And now spinning down the front straightaway. Unfortunate for him, he was working on his recovery right there, working his way forward. But Alex, everybody, I believe from 12th on back, was 1 lap down, if I'm not mistaken. Which means they'll get the free pass here. But they're going to have to restart at the rear of the field. This is exactly what drivers like Morton, Hensley, Winters, Clemens, all those guys were looking for. Mills, Ryan Settle, all of those guys were looking for this. And well, I'm gonna eat my words a little bit as Keith Hackney climbs through the scoring here. He is, in fact, on the lead lap, I do believe. Barrett Morton still does not come down pit road. Morton, Hensley, Winters, Clemens, none of those guys came down pit road.
I'm just going to bite my tongue.
I don't know what to say personally.
Pretty much. I'm just here.
I'm in complete and total shock. I'm just gonna say it. I am in total shock that these guys did not come down pit road. I'll be surprised if they don't right here. I'll be absolutely amazing. It looks like Barrett Morton's working his way down. Yes, they are all going to come down pit road. It's going to cycle back around for Keith Hackney to be in the race lead, followed by John Kinder, Jonathan Swartz, Jonathan Atkins, Frankie Barroso, James Silver, Sean Kastritza, all those guys that already made their pit stops. It looks as though they had made their way back on the lead lap before the caution came out. That's a lucky break for a lot of those drivers.
Yes, it is. Thanks, BJ.
I didn't yawn. Yeah, that was all you. Don't blame that one on me.
Caught me right in the middle of it, too. We'll have 34 laps to go. We're fine.
Well. Brett in the background getting Alex. Come to think of it, isn't that caution Alex's fault anyways? I thought so. I thought it was a hashtag blame Alex down in the chat. There we go. There's our hashtag blame Alex.
Am I being bullied?
Yeah.
No, Bill Miller. No.
The Bill Miller guy? Like we got the Bill Miller guy in here? I thought so. So our top 5 now will be Keith Hackney leading the way for the first time tonight. Hackney, always strong when he gets up in the front. Mikey Neal Jr. is second, John Kinder third, Jonathan Swartz fourth, Jonathan Atkins fifth. And then it's going to be Frankie Barroso, James Silvers, John Kastritza, TJ Henley, Brandon Robertson, your top 10. So 2 World of Thunder Esports drivers inside the top 10. Jonathan Atkins inside the top 5. He's led a number of laps tonight. Lights are out on the pace car. We're getting set to go green. Who is going to win it? 33 laps to go when the green flag drops. I guess the lights are
there. It is. Thank you, Brett.
Oh, lights were out. Green flag is out. Keith Hackney fires. Brett, can we see the leader? And right off the bat, out to about a 6-car length lead battle going for that second spot now between Mikey Neal Jr. and Jonathan Swartz side by side. Swartz going to have the momentum down the back straightaway on the outside, but we've seen all night long how strong Mikey Neal Jr. can be on the inside. But look to the outside behind Swartz. That's Frankie Barroso, who was absolutely flying around the outside just moments ago.
Battles are on here. Where'd my timing and scoring go? There we go. Schwartz, Neal, Barroso, that is your 3 there, closing in on Keith Hackney. Hackney, your race leader here, trying to hold off as a battle for second is on here. Schwartz and Neal Jr. side by side for your second spot. And it is Barroso in the 4th spot there. Those 3 cars, let's make it those 4 cars, have put on quite a show tonight. Keith Hackney, remember, he lost the race lead and lost a top 10, didn't even finish top 10 in the stage break because of tires there. But now Keith Hackney showing why he started on the front row for tonight. But there you see Mikey Neal Jr., Schwartz, and Barroso. Those 3 cars have worked their way up to where they are now, and right now battling for podium spots.
Yeah, Mikey Neal and Swartz have just swapped lanes, but Mikey Neal is not ready to give up. Surprised to see him go to the outside here, but he's been strong on the inside for so long. Here he is on the outside and actually gaining ground once again on Keith Hackney. Now they're going to change lanes again. Mikey Neal's going to go to the inside. Swartz up the outside, but does not have the run or the momentum coming off of turn number 2 to get back up to him. Looking a little further back, here comes Jonathan Atkins making a move on Frankie Barroso. Now to the inside comes Jonathan Swartz. We'll see if he can make it stick off of turn number 4 for that 4th spot. He does not. Nearly having contact coming across the stripe between Barroso and Atkins. Atkins still fighting on the inside. Barroso continuing to fight back on the outside and lurking behind, watching for a mistake is the 5 of John Kinder, waiting for his opportunity to make his way into the top 5.
So there you see Atkins right now trying to hold off that 5 machine of John Kinder. Atkins right now back where he started. So talk about the interesting trend that we've had all week. You have Hackney back where he started, Atkins back where he started, and Kinder back where he started. So think for a second. All 3 nights, some of these guys in the top 5 have fought and fought and fought again to be back where they started in the top 5, in the top 3. Keith Hackney right now trying to hold on to his spot right now as Hackney trying to hold off Schwartz, as Schwartz had a great run there on Hackney, went by him for a little bit, but Hackney took the spot back. So Keith Hackney still in the 2nd spot. Schwartz and Barroso, their 3rd and 4th. Jonathan Atkins in the 5th spot there. As you see, there goes Barroso. Now Barroso gets a run. So does Atkins. They're closing in on that 95 of Jonathan Schwartz.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I totally missed Mikey Neal Jr. taking over the race lead, but he's up to about a 0.3 of a second lead over Keith Hackney over just a short amount of time. But Hackney's going to dive it down in turn number 3 and start to close that gap a little bit. But Hackney gets loose. It's going to check him up. Here comes Schwartz and Barroso side by side behind him, gaining a little bit of ground on him. Atkins sitting back in that 5th spot right now, watching these guys, watching them battle, watching them wear out their tires, hoping as they start slowing down as 26 laps remain here in this race.
What? Bill Miller does not say wake up. I do not see Bill Miller saying wake up to me, but well, Bill Miller, I am awake.
He absolutely does. I am reading the message myself.
Yep, sure.
Unfortunately, cannot repeat exactly what that message says on stream, but it does say "Wake Alex up." Brett can say because he can't hear him, but we cannot repeat it word for word. But it says "Wake Alex up."
I'm being bullied.
And Blake Hensley now trying to work his way around. Ooh, getting really close with John Kinder right there. Those two trying to play the real estate game there, and could have ended up bad very quickly, but both of them going to spread back out. John Kinder losing ground now to Blake Hensley around his outside. That's going to be for that 6th spot. Still working side by side up ahead of them, though. Atkins the inside of Barroso. Schwartz has that 3rd spot secured for the moment. We're looking a little further back. TJ Hanley and the green car, that'd be Bobby Hall Jr. What a run he has had tonight. Not what he's looking for, rather. We saw him disappear at one point in time, was gone for a number of laps, and then return. And right now in the mix of it all, he is currently scored in the 33rd spot. So not the night that he has had. Bobby Hall always got a lot of speed. Here comes Barrett Morton down pit road.
Keep an eye on his time on pit road, because I might not be surprised if he got a speeding penalty on pit road.
Last
20 seconds.
Well,
so, yep, I think it was a speeding on pit road for Barrett Morton, and that is costly, especially with 20 laps. And that was your race leader, Keith Hackney, now on pit road here as well.
Yeah, out of second place, actually, Hackney coming down pit road. Race leader still Mikey Neal Jr., Frank Barossa, Justin Winters, Jonathan Atkins, John Kinder. Your top 5 now is more and more drivers coming down pit road. The 95 of Swartz calls out his pit stop. He'll be heading down pit road here in just a moment. You see on screen right now, still battling for position. That's the 95 and the 5. I swear I heard 95 pitting, unless he meant this time around he'll be coming down pit road. But he is battling right now for that 5th position. He's going to give it up to John Kinder. I would say he is coming down pit road. It looks like he's backing off already. Massive run for John Kinder as he moves to the inside of Justin Winters and takes over that 4th spot. Atkins now under pressure from John Kinder. Here comes Swartz down pit road.
100%
locking him up.
100% Barrett Morton had a speeding penalty, 55 seconds on pit road. So that is a tough break. 2 laps down now for Barrett Morton, but a lot of drivers now going to take 2 tires or 4 tires. Looks like Hackney with 4 tires there. Farmer, Boyd, and Moore taking 4 tires here. So this should wrap up pit stops now. This should be the final circuit of pit stops. But now the real question is anyone going to try and push the limits here tonight? We saw it last night. Who's going to do it tonight? If anyone does it tonight, as you see, Kinder there had a little squirrely moment there on pit road.
Yeah, definitely a dangerous position. I'll be surprised if he doesn't get a speeding penalty as well. But Frankie Barossa now scored as your race leader. Jonathan Atkins in 2nd. Justin Winters in 3rd. Everybody from 1st down through 17th has not come, make that down through 15th has not come down for their money stop yet. 17th and 16th, 17th, and 18th pitted between lap 98 to 100. If they do some saving, there's a possibility of them making it to the end of the race. We've seen them make about 35 laps earlier. So we'll see if those guys can make it to the end of the race. And if they can, they sit in prime position. And one of those drivers, Travis Twitty, pulled a rabbit out of the hat last night and come home with that 2nd position on pit strategy and the fuel saving game. And right now, judging by the pace he's running on track, I'd say he's in fuel save mode once again and hoping to do it again out here tonight. Right now, Frankie Barossa right about a 2.3 second lead over Jonathan Atkins. Winters about another 1.5 seconds back behind them.
And I would be shocked. The guys that are pitted between 98 and 100, they might have a chance of pulling it off. Barossa and Atkins, I would be shocked if they don't have to pit, because it might come down to, if you don't pit, you're running out of gas for those 2. That is what, since lap 92, and we had 134 laps. BJ Duval, please do the math, because I'm not good at that stuff.
Since lap 92, you're talking about how many laps they had to go?
Yeah, that.
There you go, 42 laps
I don't
that
think
they have to make it. We've seen drivers make it. We've seen drivers make it 35 laps, roughly. It'll be really interesting to see, but as I'm looking down through, I thought it was those last guys in line there that had made those later pit stops between lap 98 and 100, but we've got Justin Winters running 3rd right now. He pitted on 99. TJ Hanley in 4th. He pitted on 98. Brandon Robertson, he pitted on lap 98. Nick Mills, lap 100. Brian Terry, lap 99. Clemens, 99. Bridges, 100. So there's actually quite a number of drivers that might be able to make it. Contact between Alex Huffman and Roger Pierce right there. That could have been disastrous. Both drivers able to hang on to it and keep rolling. Lap car down to the inside, making way for these guys to go by. That's going to be the 80 machine. Ooh, whoa, contact all over the place. Cars scattering. John Kinder dives to the apron to get by cleanly. That could have been very, very dangerous. 72 of Tony Iverson calls out his pit stop. He'll be coming down pit road this time by.
And talk about, you look at the lap times here, some of these guys running 33 threes, 33 twos, but then you look at winners, 33.8, Fritz, 33 nines. So, and the laps keep getting slower, so you can tell some of these guys are in fuel conservation mode here, especially in the top 5 when there is a major gap between themselves and the rest of the field here. So you talk about the race leader of Frankie Barroso, he has about, as there goes Atkins into pit road there. So now Atkins going to try and have to pull a rabbit out of the hat in the late stages here, because we're closing in on 10 to run here, and Frankie Barroso trying to pull the adrenaline here tonight. 92 was his last pit stop, lap 92 here. And then you have Hawkins on lap 93 as well, Scott Fritz. So those cars have been out the longest on their last pit stop. So it's going to be here, and knock on wood, BJ Duval, Barroso is in here. And these guys, right now, the guys that are pitting, they want to see a caution, because if they don't see a caution, they are in trouble.
I beg to differ. I don't think they do want to see a caution. They want to get back on track. Maybe see a caution once they pass the race leader and get back on the lead lap, but the likelihood of them staying on the lead lap while on pit road is very, very low. Jonathan Atkins is on his way out, so he will manage to stay on the lead lap. I don't know, man. This is gonna be tight for some of these guys. It's gonna be really, really tight for some of them. Atkins scored in that 23rd spot. He is on the lead lap, not 21st spot. He is on the lead lap, but it's going to be extremely, extremely close for him. And Frankie Barroso is currently scored in 19th.
And remember, you at this point now you're under 10 laps to go. You don't want to pit, because if you pit, you forfeit it unless there is a caution and you get a great run. At this point, if there is no caution and you pit with 9 laps to go, you are just giving up your win here unless there is a caution. You see Huffman, he's going to try and prove me wrong here. So does Hawkins, as now I think it came close of them running out of gas. But now you look, lap 99, 98, and 100 are the guys in the top 5 here with winners. Robertson, Mills, Terry, Bridges, and Ryan Stedel. Those guys pitted on lap 99 or 98 or 100. So those guys are still on track here, trying to pull it off in the end here with 8 laps to run. It's winners now, your new race leader. Robertson, Mills is your top 3 here, with gaps between everyone here so far. But guess what? Robertson closing in here as he's gained about a half a second on your race leader. He was about 2.5 seconds behind your race leader. Now he's under 2 seconds. So Brandon Robertson is trying to close in on your race leader of Justin Winters.
And he's got the time to do it at the pace that he is currently running. Justin Winters very, very slow up to the high side, taking his time, making sure that he's got plenty of fuel. But everybody within the top 5 separated by about 6.5 seconds from 1st to 5th. Dustin Reinstedel, I thought for a moment that he was coming down pit road. Reinstedel just having a little bit of connection problems, but Winters is starting to grow that lead now over Brandon Robertson. Winters might be the driver in to win this one.
But guess what you see here in that top 5, 33.5s, 34s. The rest of the field that pitted, they're running 32-second times. So now you see the difference climbing here. Mikey Neal Jr., he's back up in the 9th here. So Mikey Neal Jr., Keith Hackney, they're in the top 10, or they were closing in. Mikey Neal Jr., he is there as well. So Hackney and Neal Jr. are in the top 10 here. And if a caution happens, those two are going to be very dangerous for the race win.
And they definitely would be fresher tires. Oh, and Travis Twitty calls out a pit stop to 29. He pit on lap 100. This could be dangerous for these guys up towards the front. They might not be able to make it. But Brandon Robertson right now is... It's like watching a game of cat and mouse. That time by Justin Winters, quicker by about 2/10 once again. Brandon Robertson all the way down to the inside. He's going to let the 46 of Sean Kostritza go by. So it's like watching a game of cat and mouse. One lap Robertson will be faster. One lap Winters will be faster. I think it's still anyone's game and anyone's guess Still waiting to see if these guys are going to be able to make it, and I think they're going to. Winners considerably slower around the track. That time he's clear up in the 34-second bracket. That's a half a second slower than Brandon Robertson at the stripe that time around. So Robertson back closing the gap. Winners might be in that danger zone right now and having to back out a little more.
I'm intrigued to see on the in-car cams some of these drivers here to see, are they keeping the car running? Are they just clutching it up here? But now it is time. 3 laps to go. Let's make it 2 laps to go as we pass the start-finish line. So popsicle sticks in the air here for Justin Winters. And it's going to be interesting to see here. There's Brandon Robertson. So now let's see here. The battles will continue as we have 2 to go.
And Justin Winters is in trouble now, as here comes the 3 of Brandon Robertson. Sean Kostritza stands a chance to slow him down, though, and allow Justin Winters to regain ground. But as I say that, Winters appears to have gotten back on the gas and jumped back up to a half-second lead coming off the corner. That's going to shrink, though. Brandon Robertson, Justin Winters. White flag is in the air just one more time around Robertson. It is go time for these 2 drivers. What will they do? What can they do? As lap cars continue to make their way around them. These guys very slow on the track, but one of them has got to push more than the other. Nick Mills sitting in 3rd. Keep an eye on that number 88 machine as they come rolling off of turn number 4. Nick Mills is not going to have enough. Neither is Brandon Robertson. Justin Winters going to come home with the race win. Brandon Robertson runs out of fuel. Nick Mills comes home in 2nd. What a finish and fantastic job. The fuel game comes into play for the 2nd night in a row. Justin Winters is the winner of the fuel game.
And yet again, our third place finisher runs out of gas and still holds on to a podium. So we see that back-to-back nights. And I'm intrigued to see here, if you watch the winner, I'm intrigued to see if Winters can get back to the start-finish line for victory lane, or if he's going to run out of gas. Remember, we saw it last night. Guys ran out of gas as soon as they hit the start-finish line. As you see, we might be getting a little push bump here as you see the congrats, but I think it's also might be a push bump to get him to the start-finish line as well. So Justin Winters with the win, Nick Mills and Brandon Robertson. Talk about the fuel game, but talk about here's the biggest key. Brandon Robertson pitted on lap 98. Justin Winters pitted on lap 99, and Nick Mills on lap 100. So tell me that one lap doesn't mean anything.
Now, one lap.
There it is.
A very short burnout to run out of fuel. His team coming to do some donuts with him. That's Alex Huffman right there. He's going to line up in fashion, actually, right there beside of him. As we take a look at tonight's official results, and coming home with the race win, it's going to be Justin Winters, followed by Nick Mills, Brandon Robertson, Jason Bridges, Justin Ryan, settle your top 5, Mike Canoe Jr., James Silvers, John Kinder, Keith Hackney, Brandon Holder, your top 10, Jonathan Swartz, Roger Pierce, Blake Hensley, Matt Grenier, Sean Kaiser, your top 15, and it's Frankie Barroso, Alex Huffman, Tony Iverson, David Farmer, and Scott Fritz, your top 20.
Coming home in 21st, it's Jonathan Atkins, Alex Healy in 22nd, Josh Clemens, that's 23rd, 24th, it's Joshua Lockwood. TJ Hanley's going to come home in 25th. GT Hawkins, that's 26th. Rocky Boyd, 27th. 28th is Brian Terry. 29th, it's Barrett Morton. And Sean Kostritza will come home in 30th. Bobby Hall Jr., 31st. Mo Abbott in 32nd. Travis Twitty, 33rd. Curtis Preston, 34th. Mike Peters, 35th. 36th will be Peyton Hubbard. Wyatt Brackett, 37th. RS Center will be 38th. Cody Anderson will be 39th.
And that is your official results here tonight. And we'll jump directly into interviews, being joined by the race winner and the winner of the fuel game. Nice job, Justin Winters, on saving that fuel and making it to the end of the race there.
Appreciate it, guys. That was tough. Beating the master at his own game.
That definitely is, and we all know how good he is at saving fuel. We've seen him do it last season in the Xfinity Series. It seemed like he can make a tank of fuel last forever and still hold a somewhat decent pace, and tonight you just showed him how to do it.
Yeah, we were just talking about it, joking, waiting to get brought up. Season 1 or season 2 at Indy, we did the same thing. He got the best of me that round, but we got the best of him today. So it's always fun racing with Brandon.
Well, you stayed pretty quiet throughout most of the night. You've been lurking all season long for a race win. You finally got one here tonight. How's that feel to finally get yourself a race win and get yourself locked in the playoffs?
It's a little bit of relief. I've been running a lot better, as you guys have noted. So yeah, it's a sense of relief, sense of confidence. Usually whenever you win one of these things, you gain some confidence, good or bad, sometimes bad, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully the floodgates open up and we start winning some more races.
All right, we're going to thank your sponsor. Shout out to everybody who helps make it possible for you.
Kinder Performance, KPG, get your carts there. Old School Diecast, get your diecast at Deb in Evansville, Indiana. Huffman Designs with the rocking car. Invested Brand, your main teamer, and Team Watson Setups. They're on the card now, so appreciate all the people that helped me out.
Congratulations again on your race win. That is Justin Winters. And Alex is caught up with your second place finisher, Nick Mills.
And Nick, talk about coming down to the wire to take over the second spot there. Had to fight all race. This racetrack has been very racy throughout the week, and tonight was no exception. And talk about the final pass there. How close were you on fuel in those final 5 laps, and did you think you were going to make it?
I'm not that good here, so that fuel strategy was my only shot that I felt like I had. As far as fuel, I ran out as soon as I passed Robertson, so I started sputtering at the line. Hats off to Justin Winters. I felt like I did everything I could to save, and I had one extra pace lap of fuel than he did, and for him to save it, make it, congratulations to him.
And now, also 15 laps left. You see guys pitting. Was there any question of pitting, or was it we're just going to push it to the end?
No, I can make it. I run some third-party calculator apps, so I was shutting the car off, clutching it the whole 9 yards, trying to draft when I could. It's kind of trying to do anything to save fuel. I knew I was only racing Robertson and Winters ahead of me. And then Bridges was on my radar as well because I knew he pitted on, I think, the same lap as I did. So I kind of knew who I was racing, so I didn't worry about the cars peeling off.
Well, we know you got a lot of support on that number 88, so take some time and thank him here for a podium.
Well, yeah, it's my own insurance agency. So if you're in Kentucky and you need some insurance, give me a call, look me up, Mills Insurance Agency. Offices in Richmond, Kentucky, but we can do anything anywhere in the state. We do everything except health insurance. So also want to give a shout out to my teammates at Weaponized Motorsports and the co-team there with Cornerstone. So we lean on each other quite a bit and share a lot of good information. So I do appreciate their support and their help along the way as well.
That is your second place finisher tonight of Nick Mills.
And coming home in that third spot there is the man who's usually known for the fuel game. As I mentioned to the race winners, we've seen him stretch it further than anybody would have ever thought possible before. Just ran out coming to the line there for that second spot.
Yeah, congrats to Justin. He straight up beat me in my own game there. And I knew it was possible from that caution. And just clutched it the whole way through and, played the games. And, I mean, that was the only way I was going to even finish in the top 10, to be honest with you. I was pretty much in the 30th spot for most of the race. And then I just knew that if it went green, it could possibly happen. And I was, with about 4 to go, I wanted to make a big run to him and just kind of catch him off guard. And I literally had when I got to turn 3 on the last lap, I was sputtering, and then coming out of 4, I didn't have any fuel, and Nick got me in the end there. But it was awesome. It's a fun way to race sometimes.
Well, staying quiet throughout the throughout the majority of the night. You stay quiet throughout the majority of the season. Do you feel like this is possibly your chance to build some momentum heading towards the playoffs, possibly take a shot at getting into the playoffs and going after a championship?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can win. It's going to be hard, but I think it's possible. You know, pointing the way in is always possible. As far as a championship, I don't know. It's probably unlikely, but I'd love to get in there and see what happens. And yeah, I don't know. I like racing these guys, so I'll keep showing up, see what happens.
All right, well, good. And thank you, sponsor shout-outs. Everybody make it possible for you.
A shout out to Your Name Here Racing with Alex, Matt, and Dave. Have a good night, guys.
All righty. Well, congratulations again on your third place finish. That is Brendan Robertson. And we'll wrap things up quickly here and get on out of here. We'll be back here next week. Same time, different track. Coming back Monday night with the Truck Series at, where are we at next week? We are at North Wilkesboro next week. So the historical track's going to be a lot of fun. Starting off with the trucks on Monday night, Xfinity cars on Tuesday night, and back to Cup cars on Wednesday night. But stay tuned here on UDTV at all times. We'll catch you guys next time. I'm BJ Duvall alongside Alex Robinson, Brett Wheeler behind the cameras. Have a great night.